And in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Laid Back with another reaction, another review, another episode. Hey, TikTok, you up to bat. Bah. It's your boy Laid Back. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, two things we got to do. You got to hit that subscribe button. I'm drinking this water. You already know what it is, man. You are the prize in 2025. You are the prize in 2025. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Stay up to date with all the videos. We back with another one. Hey, before we get into this video, I'm running a promo code on all the merch from now to the end of the year. If you put the promo code SQUAD, you get 15% off on all the merch, man. So make sure you tap in. Also, be coming up with the next year's slogan, man. 2026 slogans. I need those in the comments. What should 2026 slogan be, man? But aside from all that, we back with another one. This is about some cloning and what's going on with the cloning, and it's celebrity clone, a lot of stuff going on. You make it to the end of this one, you're a real one for real. Make sure you put that in the comments. Let's go ahead and get into it. Fire Squad. Why's it popping? Let's get it.
Human cloning is real, and it's been going on for a very long time.
It's the cloning of a human being.
In human cloning.
Human cloning.
Ban human cloning. And I'm taking further steps to prevent human cloning.
Those clips are from the 1990s when the government held hearings about human cloning. But it goes back way farther than that. In the 1970s, Dr. Landrum Shettles was known as the clone doctor.
What?
He said that cloning was, quote, easy to perform, and that was 50 years ago. James Watson, the scientist who discovered the DNA molecule, wrote an article about human cloning for the New Yorker magazine in 1971. He warned that human cloning would be possible soon and would severely disrupt our society. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, human cloning was covered everywhere in magazines and newspaper articles. And so many leading geneticists were quoted that it wasn't a matter of if, but when human cloning would happen, if it wasn't being done already.
Right.
So if human cloning was described as imminent and easy 50 years ago, just what's being done now?
It's now possible to clone humans. What's more, there are doctors ready and able to do it.
Do your own research. It's going to be interesting.
We're going to continue our discussion of the concept of human cloning today. Joining us in our studio and testifying on the Hill today is Bridget Boisselier, who is scientific director for a private company called CloneAid. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Sure. Tell us first what CloneAid is and what the company is working on right now.
Okay, so CloneAid is a private company. We founded that 4 years ago, got the funding to really have lab last August. And so now we have 3 scientists working almost full-time in a lab here in the United States with the major goal for us to produce a human embryo by human cloning.
Why do you want to do it?
There are several reasons. The first one is that why am I doing it myself? It's just because I think I had to do it. 4 years ago, when I heard all the establishment saying this is so bad and all these things, I said I have to do it and show that this is only a baby. A little baby, the belated twin of an individual, and that's it. It's not a monster. It's not all, what we have been hearing so many bad things about this baby. And so we decided to do that 4 years ago. Now we are on the verge to have this first embryo.
And when do you suspect it will happen?
This is old, too.
I don't want to be rushed into saying dates. What I'm saying is that we are in the process of doing it. We will check every possible defects before, so we'll need to make sure that the embryo is completely viable and before doing any implantation.
Just answer the question. When do you think it will be done?
So the soonest we could have an implantation is mid-April. It could be in a year from now because we want to make sure that this baby is completely and perfectly healthy.
This was how long ago?
Cloning is real.
All right. All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just now I act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, you know, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep, too. Again, a food source. That's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone. Because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA, right?
Okay, because theoretically, if we have overpopulation.
Wow, the Greys are the aliens.
The CIA chief of disguise talks about using masks in politics. Watch this, y'all.
Extreme is advanced disguise that you would use for up close and personal for an extended period of time.
She was in the
where the person
CIA
you were talking
chief of
to
disguise.
would have no idea that you were not in true face. One of the things that was going on when I was chief of disguise was an enormous research program into the new advanced disguise system. It was basically the masks that everybody always wondered if we used masks, and this was the beginning. This is a series of photographs of when I met George H.W. Bush in the Oval Office and revealed to him that I was briefing him wearing a mask. When you go to disguise a person, the general idea is that you're going to meet with someone in this disguise, and they're going to write a memo of the person that they just met with. We want every item in that memo that describes you.
So when you hear me or other people say celebrities are playing each other, this is what we mean. They can literally look like anyone. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
This stuff is weird as hell.
So recently, there's been theories claiming that celebrities are secretly being cloned and replaced. And these theories have been around for a very long time, claiming multiple celebrities are secretly clones, but it got popular again when a rapper known as NBA Youngboy got recently released from jail, and his fans thought that he looked a little different from when he first went in. Based on the pictures, I'm not sure if he looks different enough to be called a clone, but I got a clip from a show called Inside Job that talks about this exact same theory. Check it out and let me know in the comments what you think.
What does department do again, exactly?
Besides to fight God.
We keep famous DNA on file for history-related conspiracies.
Cool. You 2-Pac?
Yep, and 3-Pac, and 4-Pac.
Doug, what side you looking at? It's cold in here.
Exposure to heat makes these things unstable.
Crazy.
It actually freeze your body.
Well, what happened with my first gen is they took the skull because he initially had written in a will to the Raelian movement that if something were to happen to him, they can ship the skull over immediately to Clonade. So they can remove a fragment of bone that's located here. And in this fragment of bone, it stores all of your memories and consciousness. And with that, they can make a sufficient replica of yourself, a reproductive version of you, including your memories. And you can be selective as to which ones you keep or don't keep. This process has been around for quite some time. Like Dolly the sheep was cloned back I think the late 70s, early 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Dolly the sheep, yeah, I remember that. And they cloned a lot of animals over the years.
Yeah, Clonade, don't want to say too much information. This is going to be broadcasted on the internet.
That company again, Clonade, that company.
And it was revealed that they paid $1,000 for a meet and greet with Chris Brown. Some people were surprised at this, and there was some debate as to, whether people felt it was worth it or, is that a little too much?
He's the real Chris Brown, and he's not allowed to get on stage. That's the only way he can make his money.
So you feel like that was like a lookalike that did that?
Do I feel like it was a lookalike in Chris Brown's body?
What?
Okay.
No, Chris Brown is not that. It's just the same. It's the same thing with Kanye, bro. Chris Brown, that was not Chris Brown on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Chris Brown on stage, bro. That's not Chris.
So that wasn't Chris that did that?
Hell no, that wasn't Chris. No, that wasn't Chris that was on stage. Chris Brown is the one that's he getting paid, nigga, any way he can to see if it's gonna go over, and it's going over well. Don't nobody know the difference.
Oh snap! He's saying Chris ain't even performing.
And in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans a very long time ago. It's interesting now that in the news, after talking about this a few times, that now they're coming forward. China just has been doing it forever, but in their underground facilities, cloning people, cloning, of course, you heard about, they cloned their first primate. And hey, they can clone a primate. This verifies what I'm talking about. Well, they can definitely clone a human. And they're also growing humans for organs. But clones are everywhere. Human, extraterrestrial, they're wandering all over. You know, some people will refer to these as doppelgangers because they can grow a human to look like someone and mind program and implant them with circuitry and things like this. And they will really think they had this.
How long does it take to grow a human? Is it the same process of if you 22, and does it take 22 years to be 22, or does it take 10 years to be 22? Like, what is the process of, is it the same? I would think it's the same. I don't know.
Life and implant them into a business or into whatever organization they want.
Well, is there a hidden agenda? Because you've just brought something up that just scares the living daylights out of me. To replace us with a clone, and who would know the difference?
This is one of the probably only times, George, that you got me on a negative part, because there is an agenda. There are hundreds of people being cloned in underground facilities in Australia and in some parts of the United States. There's no reason to, clone people and keep it a secret and make horrible experiments on these people and mind implant them.
We're primarily concerned about humans cloning human for their own purpose.
Right.
But what about ETs cloning humans?
I mean, it's possible. I'm not aware of any extraterrestrials that are, cloning humans. I am aware of extraterrestrial beings that are collecting DNA from humans.
That's been ongoing.
Ongoing, but for a good reason, not for a bad reason. They can make anything too. I mean, they're already at an advanced level of science that we would not understand to do that if they needed to.
Is a clone, Emery, basically human being identical to the clone? And so they eat, they sleep, they do everything that a human does?
No, because they're, they still have to go through the growing process.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
You can't speed that up.
Well, they have sped it up. They can make a George Norrie in about 8 years from baby
Hold on.
to you.
Okay.
From baby to you in 8 years is crazy. That's crazy.
The problem is the brain cannot grow that fast as the body can. There seems to be a problem they're having with the brains.
What's the agenda? What's the mission here? To clone?
I don't know that agenda. I can just give you my opinion on it, that they would use it for a fear type thing, such as a fake alien invasion, definitely control, like a secret army, a secret group of assassins. It's very frightful just to know that they're doing this on a mass production conveyor belt is horrifying enough.
Mass convection conveyor belt? They just rolling out humans like that?
So you think these guys are just doppelgangers? Huh. These guys too?
What the hell is a doppelganger?
Also them? Interesting. And these guys, Edward Norton and Sam Rockwell, just doppelgangers?
What is
and you're sure about this, right? Real sure? Again, just doppelgangers?
Once Kevin and his team sculpted all the details, they created another set of negatives and then poured silicone into those molds and sandwiched it all together. Silicone is necessary for perfectly mimicking the translucency and texture of skin. As you can see here, it also naturally wrinkles like old human skin would.
The color of the silicone is already intrinsically colored to be a flesh tone, and you can see light through this if I could get that the right angle.
Yep. It's got to be it. Doppelgangers. That's all it is. I don't know what I was thinking. And of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. I know that they're doppelgangers. Of course. Doppelgangers. Entertainment only.
Y'all got to tell me what a doppelganger is.
Is it possible to clone humans?
Yeah, it's very possible, right?
Of course.
Because they've admitted to cloning sheep, right?
Well, you can get your dog cloned right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally, it's a dog cloning service.
How much does that cost to clone a dog,
Maybe,
you know?
Maybe not in the US.
Is it expensive?
No.
It's got to be expensive, right?
I think it's like 50 grand.
50 grand to clone a dog. That's not even that crazy, man.
I think there's a dog cloning service here in Austin.
Really?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is going on? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And I think it's just, if you can clone a dog, you can clone a human.
Yeah.
Same level of difficulty.
Wow, that's scary. Cloning a human.
They been doing it.
So this is a cloned cat.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Okay, so far I have 2 questions.
What's your question?
So since it's a clone cat, is there like a real cat that looks like that one?
There is. So there was an original cat, and that cat is still alive, and his owner decided he wanted to clone him. And now we have a cat that is genetically identical to the original cat.
Okay, let's see the cat.
See him?
Okay, wait, do they say the same stuff? So that one's not real. Does it have a heart or anything?
He has a heart. He's a normal cat.
See that? See that?
Just like any other cat.
How do you do that?
So if you wanted to clone Trappy, you would take him to your veterinarian, and your vet would take a little small skin biopsy from his tummy. And then that sample comes to the Viagen Pets lab, and we grow millions of cells from the tissue. And the cells contain all of Trappy's DNA.
Wow. And this owner has a 4-year-old cat that looks just like this.
Looks almost alike. So some things that can be a little bit different in a cloned animal are the markings, because a clone is just an identical twin. But the shape of the face, the shape of the ears, the eye color.
So it's not really a clone if it's different at the...
I guess you were born in Jersey?
Yeah. Originally, my first gen. I'm a second gen now. That's why you see the celebrity births say I'm born in Toronto, but that's false. My first gen was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonade in Canada.
So then you ended up in South Florida?
Yeah.
So you were actually raised by a single mother?
Yeah, that's true. Our mom,
okay,
single.
Where was your father around during that time?
I don't know. Like I said, a lot of the memories from Clonade were erased just so that way the new gen can move forward with whatever new programming was made.
Damn.
What do you think was some of the hardest things you dealt with growing up?
Witnessing friends' lives get taken.
What was that like being a teenager and suddenly seeing all that death around you?
I didn't really feel anything. I didn't even go to a lot of the funerals. I would just go to the wake and then just go and then leave. Because if you let it, I feel like if you let it bother you, it's something that happens every day. It's kind of the norm. And already dealing with depression naturally, it's just like I don't want to sit there thinking of all that shit, you know. I believe in a new norm now. I believe in a new norm of like through the creation and synthesis in DNA that we can live like immortal through clones and transfer our consciousness. I'm in living proof now.
Whoa.
What's that?
Shout out Clonade.
Yeah. Well, you could actually, as soon as you die, they could actually freeze your body.
Well, what happened with my first gen is they took the skull because he initially had written in a will to the Rayleigh movement that if something were to happen to him, they can ship the skull over immediately to Clonade. So they can remove a fragment of bone that's located here. And in this fragment of bone, it stores all of your memories and consciousness. And with that, they can make a sufficient replica of yourself, a reproductive version of you, including your memories. And you can be selective as to which ones you keep or don't keep. And this process has been around for quite some time. Like Dolly the sheep was cloned back in, I think, the late 70s, early 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Dolly the sheep, yeah, I remember that. And they've cloned a lot of animals over the years.
Yeah, Clonade, I don't want to say too much information. This is going to be broadcasted on the internet.
But I don't think they could transfer the actual memories, though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're living proof of this?
Yeah, I'm living proof. Except all the memories. A lot of them I don't have because of drugs and alcohol I abused as a teenager. So it's kind of like burning an MP3 CD, right? So let's say, we don't do this, people don't do this anymore, but back in the day, you would bootleg a CD, you would need the original copy. You put it in, it reads the disc, transfers all the files. You have the same exact CD, it's the same thing. All the tracks, everything, every bar, every hit from every note, everything's gonna be on there. Now, if I scratch that CD, I may not be able to read all the files on the disc, making it impossible to transfer and make a new one, new copy. I think it's amazing that they even were able to make Gucci Man.
Right, because they cloned him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Clonade did. I'm pretty sure like that was done from a separate company, but Yeah, clearly.
Right. Everyone was saying he was cloned as soon as he got out of jail. He looked different. He talked different.
Yeah. Even his teeth, the smile.
Right, he was smiling a lot more.
Yeah, he did, definitely. I like Gucci. I like new Gucci. I like second gen Gucci.
Second gen Gucci. Okay, so Gucci was the first hip hop clone, but you're the second.
Maybe if there's others, I don't know. But I don't even think just hip hop. I consider myself like more of a rock star, pop star. So Michael then technically was the first. If you people think he was a clone.
Michael who?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely perfected the process by the time they got to him.
A lot of people wonder why haven't we cloned humans yet, but the truth is we actually found out how to clone them about 7 years ago. And a lot of people believe that some celebrities were actually killed and then cloned, like Kanye and Britney. In 1996, a sheep named Dolly was successfully cloned. It took many tries, but it worked, and in 1996, technology wasn't as advanced as it is now. In 2002, there was a company called Clonaid. They claimed they cloned a human baby called Eve, however, there was no evidence of this, and they said they didn't release any to protect the family. Now, when this happened, governments around the world banned human cloning. Also, Clonaid was formed by a Raelian cult. Then they were shut down by the FDA and they moved
by an Aurelian cult?
To the Bahamas to continue. In 2004, they claimed that they had successfully cloned about 14 people. To this day, their company is still up and running. 2007, another group managed to clone human embryos by adding caffeine. 2018, monkeys were cloned, making it the first primates. And after that, cloning was only really talked about in animals. Based on this info, do you think clones exist?
Absolutely they do. Absolutely.
All right. Let's get into one of the weirdest things about Jeffrey Epstein that nobody talks about: his obsession with human cloning. Yeah, that guy wasn't just about networking with the elites. He allegedly wanted to seed the human race using his own DNA. According to reports, he told scientists this was his mission, not a random fantasy. And where did he plan to make this sci-fi nightmare happen? His New Mexico ranch, a place he envisioned as a literal baby factory. Epstein was diving into transhumanism and eugenics, trying to build a legacy like he was some kind of dystopian villain. Here's where it gets even weirder. This wasn't happening in isolation. Epstein surrounded himself with powerful scientists and thinkers, fueling conspiracies about secret experiments, human cloning, and maybe even connections to people like John of God. Was this just the ravings of a megalomaniac? Or is there more to the story? Makes you wonder.
An artist named Heather Dewey creates 3D printed sculptures of people using DNA that they leave behind on items like cigarette butts, gum, and hair follicles. And part of her goal is to get people to really think about the implications and the future of privacy. So she creates perfectly rendered facial structures, faces, human faces, using DNA samples that she finds on the street. The data she collects is then tested for genetic variations that reveal a person's gender, ethnicity, eye color, and even facial structure. She uses the same type of polymerase chain reaction, which is the same process that forensic scientists use to find a match between a suspect, a weapon, and a crime scene. She amplifies specific regions of the genome that are associated with physical characteristics like hair color and facial structure. The amplified DNA is then sequenced to determine the individual's genetic information. The information is then used to create plastic 3D printed models of the person's face that are then showcased in her art installations. What is interesting is the fact that reading DNA is a highly subjective science, which I didn't know about. Like, I thought that it would be like this precise, exact thing. Like, if they have your DNA, then they can clone you. Perfect one-to-one clone. But it's not the case at all. The gene commonly associated with blue eyes.
Oh, shit. Damn. That's how they gonna cut it off?
Do you know that celebrity cloning programs are a thing? Check this out.
How do you do it? I look on Twitter, there you are. Facebook, there you are. Television, there you are. How do you do it?
I have a clone.
I was going to say that. There's two of you.
Cat's out the bag. Okay? It's about a good 3 of me. We broke it. They didn't want to release it yet. This is major news that I'm giving you. All right. I'm the first person to ever use it. I'm cloned. I'm cloned. I'm cloned.
I remember that.
Now, that clip is played off as a joke, but that's kind of the thing. They joke around and they put it in plain sight. Also, you could see the aftermath of the car crash that Kevin Hart was in. First of all, how did he survive that? Second of all, How did he recover from his broken back within months? He told you in that clip. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like this video and follow me for more. I'm gonna wake up. Stay blessed.
He did have a broken back too.
You know that kid that went viral for his before and after pics because everyone thought he got cloned? Yeah. He's 3 years old. Riker Rep. He was in his backyard playing with his dog, and then he got lost for 2 days.
Yeah.
And imagine you're 3 years old, you get lost in the forest, surviving 2 days, it's GG's. So they sent the whole search team. They found him, but he was 2 miles from originally where he was. Oh, word. When they found him, he was wearing different clothes. They found him in a shed.
Why does he look like that now?
This is when he just found him, and this is when
Okay,
he
that
got
makes
lost.
sense though. Bro is in the wilderness. He's probably raised by the wolves.
2 days without water or food. Like, you're 3 years old. You're not going hunting.
We see Tarzan.
Oh, bro.
In my head, that's why I would believe it. But the conspiracy, definitely, that's not him.
Yeah, it's not him. He found it with different clothes. How do you explain that? In my mind, there's no way this kid survived.
China, Russia,
it is getting weird. Like CRISPR and these genome engineering tools are outside of the bottle. They're out. It's like the genie out of the bottle, right? It's like it's out there. You can't put it back in. I think that more and more people in other countries are going to be doing things with these technologies for humans. That's why Colossal just said, we will never do anything for humans. If someone else wants to use our technologies for humans, we'll evaluate
But that gets so weird, right? Like the China story. Like, can you explain to people what they did? They said they were inoculating them from HIV, which is...
Yeah. They actually were
Very
engineering.
suspect.
They were engineering babies in editing their embryos to confer a resistance to HIV. Now, still to this day, so they were cloning them, and then they were genetically modifying them, and so they're doing lots of things that are. There's a general moratorium in the world on some of these things around humans. Anything that's considered a germline edit, so anything that could be passed on to the next generation, right? So things. So if you engineer something into the genome, the fear is, from a germline. So all your cells in your body are somatic cells, except for your like egg or sperm. Those are germ cells. So anything that could be affected into the germline, so that you pass it on to the next generation, that could be like, umbrella corporation type moment, right? So we don't want that.
Well, the scary thing was they didn't just do that. They also edited something that would allow the child to have much higher intelligence.
Well, so that part's like that part's quote under debate. There's people that say that happened. There's people that say it doesn't happen. If you look at BGI or Beijing Genomics Institute, right? They did this thing that, from a nefarious perspective, was brilliant. From a nefarious perspective, is also terrifying. During COVID, they're like, we'll do all the COVID testing for you for free. We'll do all this COVID testing for you for free. No worries. Just send us your data. We'll do it all for free. You just want to help the world, right? We'll work with the World Health Organization. Just send us all your samples from all your countries, everything. And publicly, the CEO of BGI has said, which is funded by the CCP, has said that they are looking at genes with humans. They are looking at what makes humans more intelligent. They don't shy away from this. This is not like some, conspiracy, like theory, like, is it a Sasquatch or is it just a man in an ape suit? This is something that is very real. They are openly saying, we are sequencing as much as we can of the world population, looking for genes for intelligence, and we will act on that. Like, that's not a hidden thing. So that is the problem.
But they supposedly did with these children. How old are these kids now?
I mean, that would have. When did that happen? It was, yeah, so they've been like 6 or 7.
Are they already winning chess championships?
Yeah, so
we should find out.
Yeah,
we should find out where these kids are probably in a lab somewhere with a headset on.
Yeah,
teaching them how to be psychic.
That sounds crazy though.
Doppelgangers trip me out so bad. And scientists believe that for each and every one of us, there's at least 6 people who are like a 98% lookalike. And that doesn't even count the people that have been alive in the past. Take a look at these guys. They were both being admitted to Leavenworth Penitentiary, and when they had their pictures taken, Will was being charged with William's crimes. And although they both shared similar names, Will and William West, they didn't share the same crimes. The jails realized they needed to start using fingerprinting as a better form of identification. Another really popular case is these 2 guys. They're both baseball players, recognized as looking oddly similar to the point of where they took DNA tests. And what's even more strange, they didn't share any DNA, but they shared the same name, Brady Fiegel.
What?
We've seen it here on TikTok with a lot of celebrities, but especially Ariana Grande's doppelganger, Paige Neiman. and a lot of other celebrities that are currently still alive, but resemble people from the past. Doppelgangers have sparked a ton of theories and conspiracies. Some people believe that these doppelgangers are actually time travelers, or that there's a lot more cloning going on than we're aware of. I still haven't found any of my doppelgangers. Have you?
Doppelganger. That's what that is.
They said he was out the hospital for weeks, and then other people came out and said he's still in the hospital. That means he got multiple people coming around here. They not communicating. He got multiple, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he cloned.
So you think he's cloned?
I don't think he cloned. I know he
you know he
Hold
cloned.
on, and then go look. If y'all go look at Jamie Foxx, you can pull it up actually. Go look at his Twitter profile picture. That man clone Ritual right here.
Let's see if we can look at his.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
So hold up.
Come on. Come on. Why out of all poses, he got the 6 and the eye going on. Out of all poses he could pick. That's the one he picked out of all the poses he could pick. Okay, now you see that? Now look at the angle of that triangle, right? Go to Lil Durk album cover. There's some similarities going on. Almost healed.
What's going on here?
Oh shoot.
Come on, man. They got something going on. Look at his chest. Come on, man. It's something going on, folks. It's something going on.
Oh, I'm tripping. So I'm gonna go here. So yeah, you got this.
So you got that, and then you got Lil Durk album cover.
Now, the difference is at least what they say, the one seeing eye, the eye sees it all. You got one here, but then he trying to subtly do it. Is that what you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He ain't closing the full eye.
A minute. Real
Actual
science. Actual science. I'll send you. And listen, in Russia, the 2045 project, Ray Kurzweil, they've already took a monkey and transferred its consciousness into a computer. That was done in 2010. What? In 2000, I think 16 or 17, it was to transfer human consciousness into a robot, which that's been done. In America, we have DARPA. They have the Avatar project. Look that up, the Avatar project. I wrote about it in my book, where they transfer a soldier's consciousness into a field robot. And then the only thing that gets damaged if the robot blows up, the symbiotic link is disconnected through consciousness, but the soldier's obviously not going to die. And so this has all been done. This is real science being actively used right now. By 2045, which is the 2045 project in Russia, they're looking to transfer human consciousness into an actual being, an actual avatar body. You know, so they can take a skin cell from you, they can put it in a petri dish, they can get it under the right conditions, turn that skin cell into a stem cell, culture that, turn that into a group of stem cells, and then grow that into a full clone of yourself using your own stem cells, and then transfer your mind into your new body.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
I've never heard this before.
Yeah.
Ever.
Wow. This is really crazy.
Somebody asked me the other day, are the celebrities that we see that are actually cloned, are they gone? Are they passed away? Like, what happens to them? And from what I could see with my own psychic intuition is that their consciousness is extracted from them. There is more than one physical body where they are spiritually present. And usually when they are cloned, it means somebody has control over one of their bodies. But no, I don't believe that people that have been cloned are all people that have passed away.
Interesting.
Now, y'all can't tell me that this is actually Lil Wayne.
How can I tell him turn down Lil Wayne? I'm Lil Wayne. This is a predicament.
I don't know what was that about.
It's not me. It's me, but it's not me. Again. Not again. Please.
Now, if you notice, he says how it's him, but it's not him. And just a couple months ago, people kept pointing out how he was cloned until he came back looking like this.
This stops now. You're playing Lil Wayne too loud.
You're Lil Wayne. Wouldn't Lil Wayne want us to play Lil Wayne too loud?
Forget I said you're playing Lil Wayne too loud. Play Lil Wayne too loud.
That picture is crazy. I don't know if he was going through something, if he had a health condition going on or what.
Let me tell y'all a true story, B. So boom, watch this video to the end. I'm gonna show y'all how NBA Youngboy is a clone. After I seen this video, I knew he wasn't the same. Let's go.
I'm terrified of people.
What?
I am very
Come on.
scared of people.
After I seen that video, I knew that NBA Youngboy was replaced. Stop playing with me, son. The NBA Youngboy I know and all the songs he making, all that gangster rap. What you talking about? You scared of people? He doesn't even look the same. Let's get back into this video, B.
Like on my kids.
What, man? What are you talking about?
Terrified of people. And I'm very shy.
Shy? Explain to me. How are you shy if you're a celebrity, you do music, everything is about the people, you perform, you go on tour, you're always around people. Stop playing with me, son. So what the hell are you talking about, NBA Youngboy? I know it's not you. Let's get back into this video, man.
Yo, who is this guy?
People are cruel.
Shut up, man.
It's like we can't control ourselves.
And your nails are painted?
So you never know what someone will do.
Come on, man. All my NBA Youngboy fans out there, you know that's not him. Come on, let's be honest. And I know y'all gonna jump in the comments like, bro, you're reaching. That's him. No, it's not. Stop playing with me, son. Since when was he ever scared of people? You a rapper. You do videos. Everything you do revolves around people. As a celebrity. Stop playing with me, son. So what are you really talking about? Was that you talking? Or was that the CPU talking? You see, you guys don't want to believe nothing. You just want to believe whatever you see. If he's still alive, he's still there, that's still him. No, it's not. You seen what they did to Gucci, man. Stop playing with me, son. If I ever catch NBA Youngboy in the streets talking about, I'm very scared of people, with black fingernail polish?
Stop playing with me, son. It's funny.
I could make a sperm out of your skin cells and an egg and fertilize that.
So you can clone me?
I could clone you. I won't do that because it's illegal, but biologically we could do that. I can make organs, mini organs from you and test drugs. What we're doing in the lab is we have... Yeah. Personalized medicine. When you come to my lab and you have to promise you're going to come, I'll show you we grow these mini brains in the lab.
Wow.
And we've got them from people that are predisposed to Alzheimer's or not. And we have a way to age those brains so that they're now 80 years old, even though they're only a few months old. And they lose their ability to fire electrically. They become demented in the dish, little mini brains. On Instagram, I've shown some photos of these. They're pretty cute. And so we give them Alzheimer's and dementia in the dish. And then what we do is we have a system to turn on those 3 embryonic genes, OS and K, and those brains go back in age. But here's the cool thing. Alzheimer's goes away. That electrical activity comes back. Now we do this in a mouse. We make the mouse older, just let them age out, or we accelerate it. And we've been now reversing the age of those brains in the mice. And you can guess what happens. They get their memory, ability to learn back.
Unbelievable. Do you hear what you're saying?
This is some next level stuff here.
Humans made to order. Mothers giving birth to themselves. Babies conceived just so their body parts can be transplanted. Come with me into the scary new world of cloning. The nightmarish stuff of science fiction has suddenly become a reality. The genie is out of the bottle, said scientists in Scotland earlier this year when they successfully cloned a sheep. And they weren't kidding. Using those same techniques, it's now possible to clone humans. What's more, there are doctors ready and able to do it.
1999.
In the world we've all known, it's meant to happen something like this. Boy meets girl, they fall in love, and through that relationship they conceive a baby. But now there's a potential new way to create life, and it has many of us terrified. It's called human cloning.
It will happen. And it will not be done for the best reasons. It will be done for all kinds of bizarre reasons, but be in no doubt that it will be done.
I see it as just one more tool in the whole array of tools that we now have to help people have children. I think that's a very, very important reason that cloning should be allowed.
The battle has been joined, even as the first cloned baby remains a glimmer in the eye of scientists. After all, what we're talking about doing is making exact replicas of ourselves. Strictly speaking, it would be legal to clone me, for example, tomorrow. And this is the place it's most likely to happen, a leading IVF clinic outside of New York. Behind those walls, there are people with the technology, the ability and the desire to genetically engineer human embryos, to be the first in the world to successfully clone a human being.
There's no doubt that human beings will be cloned.
Dr. Jacques Cohen, a leader in his field, simply needs the approval of his clinic's ethics committee to make history. So if I had the money, you had the permission, you could clone me tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't say tomorrow. It will take a year or two. We could clone you probably within 2 years.
Cloning me for a child.
I feel sorry for your child.
Damn.
Your child is going to grow up with a tremendous emotional baggage of having to cope with you trying to live your life out again through her. I would feel sorry for a child like that. What happens to identity? What happens to personality? What happens to teenage rebellion when you're rebelling against yourself? When a parent says, you know, I can see you take after me. This is absolutely taking after. Looking at all aspects of gene technology, how we can take a gene from your body and put it into one of those goldfish.
And make a very exciting goldfish. Dr. Patrick Dixon, a bioethicist based in London, says human cloning is imminent, probably unstoppable, and most certainly wrong.
It'll be done for spares, it'll be done on some ego trip, it'll be done for emotional reasons, it'll be done to offset some pathological grief mechanism that thinks that somehow we will be able to recover the identity just because we recover the genetic profile of someone.
I can think of a number of cases where cloning would not just be acceptable, but the appropriate thing to do.
In the race to be the first to clone a human, one of those barracking the loudest is Dr. Lee Silver, professor of molecular biology at Princeton University in America.
I think that the important thing to realize is that there's nothing synthetic about cloning. We're taking, the people who will clone will be taking living cells and converting them into embryos that will become people someday.
It doesn't matter how they came about?
No, I don't think so.
What?
As long as the process that brought them about didn't cause any harm to them.
The possibility of cloning has been around for decades. Then, in February of this year, came the living proof it could be done. A lamb called Dolly was cloned in Scotland from the breast tissue of an adult sheep. Well, this is Dolly. A sheep, but one sheep which has managed to change our understanding of how life begins forever. Little Dolly and many other species of animals cloned since, including monkeys, are powerful evidence that we humans can replicate ourselves. It's a bit like taking a cutting from a plant in the garden.
And we can show you a photograph album of exactly what your child will look like on the 2nd birthday, 4th, 8th, 10th, 32nd birthday, come to that. We can show you they'll have a receding hairline at the age of 34, they'll be completely bald at 45, but a musical genius into the bargain. That's great. And there are people who would be prepared to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for that kind of pedigree result, guarantee, especially if they can't have children of their own.
I've been approached 3 times in the last months by couples who cannot produce in any other way.
And that was a serious approach?
Those were serious approaches, yes. There was one person who was very able in formulating that his wife was now about 48, and he therefore thought that it would be a good scenario to have her reproduce by cloning technology.
And would it be?
Well, I presume it is an application, yes, because you keep the gene pool in the family. You don't use any outside sperm or outside eggs for that couple to reproduce. So she would carry the parental, she would carry her own identical.
That's what I'm saying. They reproducing the same person. What you mean, keep it in the family? What?
So there's seemingly already a demand.
There's a demand, yes, definitely.
I think people should have the right to use their own genetic material in any way that they see fit to have.
I'm glad they cut his ass off.
Stupid, bro. You see Kanye 6 feet tall and then you see him small. You better catch the small nigga and give him a hug, man, because he been through a lot of shit to be in that body. He was just trying to eat that dude.
Oh, man.
He finally got his shit back, And that's what the real Kanye be in a real fucking place, chilling, eating, no security. That's Kanye. He got his shit back. And because he got his shit back, the fake Kanye filmed him and was like, oh, this ain't Kanye. Look at him. It's basically what he was saying, bro. It is like, yo, man, Kanye hops out of fucking $1 million cars, bro, and stands there and takes pictures and then hops in the car and leaves. Kanye goes and gives bags away, bro. Like, he was giving Louis bags away out there in New York, bro. He's a thoroughbred. He's a real nigga, bro. He ain't no dope dealer. He's a producer. He's a real fucking artist. That's the real Kanye, you know what I'm saying? So if you looking at this nigga with the space shoes.
And he's always dressed like it's winter.
Yo, man, what the fuck? And then he got the space shoes on. What are you doing? Getting us ready for the infiltration? You want aliens down here. That's what they doing on Mars, wearing shoes like that.
Hey, this dude, man.
And they don't want y'all to motherfucking know it. They're wearing shoes like that on Mars and shit. DEFCON owns Mars. Yeah. So DEFCON owns Mars, and this motherfucker, he trying to give us a little bit of his flavor, and we walking around in big clunker ass shoes, not knowing that we getting ready for infiltration. It's not a war no more, motherfucker. It's infiltration. It's your family. It's your mama. It's your daddy. It's your this. It's your that. It's your that. The world damn near done ended, and motherfuckers is sitting here acting like it's all the same. All because of DEFCON. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we love that little Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Sitting out there eating in a restaurant.
Yo, this dude here.
I'm sorry, maybe I got my daddy's brain.
That dude different.
And you can basically have your conscious mind, but in a different physical body. It's implanted into the base of the neck, and all of your information, like where you're from, all your experiences, your emotion, who you know, are downloaded onto a DHF called Digital Human Frame.
What?
The DHF can then be transferred into one of our organically made sleeves of your choice, and you can basically have your conscious mind, but in a different physical body. So our sleeves typically last 1 to 100 years. We do different facial features, different body structures, anything you like. The sleeve can do any physical function that you can do, like run, eat, sleep, breathe, burn, drown, anything you can think of, the sleeve can do. So before we go on to phase 2, where we talk about different modifications,
you can shift to any sleeve of your choice. Now we have some sample sleeves in the back, or you can choose the sleeve that you are in right now. Now we have modifications, enhancements of these sleeves if you'd like to. Or you can choose from a 2018 catalog that Psychosec already produced sleeves. You have the option to choose between a man or woman sleeve.
Whoa.
If you'd like to be a bit taller, a bit shorter, a bit darker, or a bit lighter.
Really?
You can choose any ethnicity as you wish.
What?
Now, if your sleeve becomes damaged or too old for your liking, you can simply take your DHF, your consciousness, and shift it to another cortical stack of another sleeve of your choice.
No way. So you can just be a man, a woman, any race, any...
The Kardashians are people that use glamour magic. Okay, so they come out and you think they're attractive. They're okay, but they're, you know, whatever. Clones are real. So when you're talking about Britney Spears, watch the face. The face changes and they're not always the same people. Yeah, Ariana Grande is, obviously. That is a thing. She told me about being chased by demonic entities 2016. So she was aware of it. But see, here's the thing. This is what I want to explain to you. And it causes anxiety, and it causes a lot of things, and it causes you to disassociate. But here's the thing I want to explain to you. When they are born into a family that is a Illuminati, Mason, whatever family, and let's say the kids don't know it. So for example, if they've been inverted in utero and they're just born to their parents, they're like you and I. They wake up in a family and this is their family. Like, I don't really think, like, do you think about really, like, is my mother wrong or crazy? It's not until you're a teenager or something where you can see behavior that you may think that, right? But if they're in these families, they are born doing certain things to begin with, okay? If they're not already harnessed in and through reincarnation cycle and harnessed back in, right? So they come back in through a portal into another body, and they're given specifically to that family. So they're chained in the astral. They never really get to die. You get to die, I get to die. I know nobody wants to die, but we get to die. They get trapped in the astral in a different way than we do in the reincarnation one, and they are bound, and they pull them back in, and they use them as a public thing. So do these souls or people like that know it? And when they start doing the rituals that they practice, right? When they start doing that, are they aware that they're opening themselves?
What if the process of human cloning is far more simple than we have ever been led to believe? In 1978, a movie was released called The Boys from Brazil. The plot revolves around secret German scientists who had escaped to South America after the events of World War II. In the movie, they show an incredibly simple cloning process. The process involves subjecting a viable egg cell to ultraviolet light exposure. This erases the DNA structure within the egg. Next, a cell containing the donor DNA is inserted into the egg. In the movie, they use a blood cell, but any cell containing DNA could be used, including hair, nails, or skin cells. By placing these cells into the erased egg with a microscopic needle, this leads to the creation of a perfect genetic duplicate or clone. Anyone with these simple tools could potentially clone another human being. This begs the question.
What?
Guys, who's ready for a 2024 update on CloneAid and their claims of successfully cloning a human? Get ready for that.
They finally did it.
Let's do a little recap first, though. Back in 2002, a cult called Verlailian and a lady named Bridget Bossarelli, right here, and her business that she started called CloneAid made claims that they supposedly had cloned a baby girl named Eve. Well, that's the name they gave her. It was only 3 days later that Bridget and CloneAid came forward and said that they actually had successfully cloned 2 more people who were born as babies, obviously.
Ooh.
Immediately, the scientific community denied the claims and asked for proof. The United States government gave Bridget Bossarelli and CloneAid a deadline to show proof for the successful cloning.
Okay.
But one problem, the children were born in a different country than the United States. Well, when Bridget found out they were coming for her, she shut down her company and went into total hiding.
Really?
Changing her name even. The United States then had her patent blocked, which if you know anything about past American history, that's something that has been done numerous times to block somebody's research or projects from getting light and backing. It's been several years since anybody's been able to find Bridget, and the remnants of CloneAid are just stories at this point. It took me several months of digging around and talking to leads before I even could find anything. I then found Bridget's niece. For the sake of her identity, let's call her Jen. Jen told me stories of growing up with Bridget and the time she had shared with her aunt. She said her aunt was always very knowledgeable about anything to do with science or genetics, but when she was a teenager, her aunt had joined a cult called Verlailian. They were obsessed with bringing their alien leader back to Earth. Bridget had donated all the family's life savings to this cult and had also given up the rights to her cloning projects to them. Verlailian's hope for cloning was to clone and bring back their leader. Kinda weird, I know. Jen had told me when the government had gave Bridget a deadline to show proof of her work, the head of the religious cult told her to shut down her business and then to go into hiding, also change her name. Jen said that Verlailian religious cult had ruined her family, and well, they also ruined Bridget. Bridget ended up moving to Mexico and started a new company called STEMaid. I actually found her through Jen and looked her up, and guess what? She changed her name, just like Jen said. She now goes by the name Dr. Bridget Hanley. She's also using the Mexican government and their grants in order to keep furthering her research on clones. Even though she's denying it, there's already been proof, which you guys, if you join my Discord, you can go through it and see the links. It's a whole thing. But anyways, so check it out. That was the update for 2024. I have a part 10 that goes even deeper into this new company, STEMaid, and what they actually do, because they do a whole slew of research projects for stem cell research. Like, you can pause to read this, and here's a little bit more. So I hope that didn't disappoint you guys, and if you have any questions, we can talk about it in the comments. Also, if you go to the playlist, there's 9 other parts or 8 other parts. Check it out.
So she went in hiding and shut her whole shit down.
You know how we're always talking about clones and things of that nature? Theodore. Well, this guy did it. Explosive human cloning documentary unveiled at Netflix. This guy, he created animal clones first, and then he allegedly coerced 2 of his female coworkers to give him their eggs, and did some human being cloning. The guy that's the director of the Netflix show says that we've been able to do this for 10 years at least, and that all the information is there, just someone has to do it. So if we believe that, then it's probably been around longer and people have done it.
That's real.
Here, it has been possible to clone a human being for at least 10 years. The scientific ability is there. It's just that somebody somewhere has to just do it. As if they haven't. And then you'll have to reckon with it. But I fear that we've not really spent so much time thinking about it. Some of us have. Some of us have. So the guy, the documentary guy, he's Indian, and he says that this Korean doctor is a very polarizing figure. Oh, you guys, what do y'all think? Where are my clone believers at? Y'all need to get in on here and tell me what you think. This guy has just been the first one documented to have done it. That we know of, that has been out in public.
Right.
But it's been around a long time. Anywho, okay, what do you think? Okay, gosh, there's no news out and I am bored. So if there's anything going on that you want to send me to talk about, just do it. Okay, bye. And guess where this Korean guy is living now? In Abu Dhabi. That's not suspicious. With a sheikh at a sheikh's hotel. You know a sheikh, one of those tribal king guys in the Middle East? Because, you know, he got kicked out of Korea, so.
Oh.
I mean, they made laws banning human cloning, and I gotta think that is because it's possible. It sounds kind of wild, right? And I'm like, I don't know, man. That sounds a little sketchy. To defend truthers who say, oh yeah, there's cloning centers, which sounds crazy to normal people, you have to understand the ideas that we as a society are kept in the dark, right? The idea is pretty simple. If you look at the DARPA and all these defense agencies, you got to understand the technology is about 20 years ahead of what the public knows. Donald Marshall says they do it through what they call REM consciousness transfer, where when someone's sleeping, they can subconsciously, through portals of the bathtub or the mirrors or the windows, they've got the technology to come in, take, Britney Spears' consciousness and sort of pull it into this other realm, clone her, and then send her back in so she doesn't even know what's happening. Which, it all sounds insane, but...
All right, guys, that was another compilation, man. That was about the clones and celebrity cloning, animal cloning. Do y'all think the celebrity cloning thing is real? They said they can speed up the aging process to get to somebody to like 45 in like 8 years or something like that. That is crazy. Do y'all think some of these celebrities out here clone? And if so, which ones do you think are? You made it this far, you are a real one for real. You need to go ahead and put that in the comments, man. Shout out to all my real ones out there. Hey, but till next time, self-love and positivity. Fire Squad, I got you and you know it.